outside. And every single section, we're going to go up, and then we're going to go down, and then we're going to go up, and then we're going to go down. Yep, depending. I have two because my paper is really heavy. So I'm going to start on the outside and just holding one section.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to enter the bottom sewing station, bottom hole, and I'm going to pull till I have a small tail on the outside of my book. Very small. Like that.
Oh. Whoops.
Start on the outside.
I know my thing didn't go through the other page.
Then I'm going to exit the second hole. I'm just going to go up and down this whole thing, but I'm making sure that my stitches are snug, okay? Don't forget to only pull in the direction that you're sewing, otherwise you'll tear your paper.
Maybe go out this one?
Yep, you're literally just going to go out the next one, in, out, in, out, in, out the whole way. When you get to the top, you're going to stop.
Do you go from?
Yeah.
You skip this one?
Nope. See how you're going to
Oh,
straight out that. Yep. Every hole. So you'll have 3 stitches exposed on your spine. Okay? It's going to look just like that. As I'll see. If you're holding your book like this, you guys, think of this as actually the back cover. On the back of this section, I want you to make a little mark. I don't care what it is, an X, a star, something. Because as we start adding sections on top of our book here, look at me, sometimes you forget when you've added your second section and you add it onto the opposite side. Did you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so make that little mark.
Wait, I fell on this side?
No, the back side.
This right here?
One of them.
Yep.
One of
So
them.
go in there.
One of them. One of them. One of them. Either this one or this one.
Oh, as my back and front?
Mm-hmm. No, it just says your back.
Oh.
Because you're adding sections on top.
Back.
Take your next section, put it on top of the section you just sewed.
Where we did the mark?
You want the mark to always be showing in the back. So you're going to put the section on top here. Check your holes to make sure your stations are lined up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to open up your second section. Tina, we're going to wait for you.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time following.
I think your holes are not lined up well, which is making your life more difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay.
So hold your book like this. See how I'm holding it? So you can get into the second section. Make sure your stitches in that first section are all really snug. You keep going and then I'm going to show you when you get there. Okay, stop when you get to the bottom. So I'm going to enter the top hole in my next, in the second section. Okay.
Snug or not
Snug.
And then go into the second?
Go in there.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. And then exit hole 2. And this is what you're going to do the whole rest of the way. But I want everybody to watch me. Okay? So the whole idea of this binding is, if I sewed these all like this,
Mhm.
the binding would not the book wouldn't be joined together here in the center anywhere, okay? You can lay little tapes underneath these stitches and we can sew on tapes. It's another way of case binding, but for today we're not gonna do that. So if everybody can watch me for a sec. I am literally going to take my needle and run it under the stitch, only the stitch directly under me. And I am going to catch it. See how it makes that nice X? And I'm using really fat thread, so you're gonna be able to see it. I'm gonna do it again 2 more times, Casey, okay? So I'm gonna go right,
See what you did there.
no problem. I'm gonna go right back in that hole. Not back in, sorry. I'm going in the next hole, because you're gonna make 3 sets of X's, 3 sets of links. Okay? So watch me again. I'm gonna exit. And I'm snugging it up as I go. Watch me. Under that stitch. That's it. I'm just going under it. And then I'm going in the next hole. When we start building this up, your X's will move accordingly and it will be easier and easier to see the pattern. And that, I'll explain that when we get there. And then do the X on the bottom station. And then when you get to the bottom of your section, stop. We're going to tie a little knot.
Just like that.
Yes. And just make sure you're snugging as you go.
Stop when?
When you get to the bottom, so you guys, when you get to the bottom, you can see that you have this little tail and your long thread. Tie a little knot. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Nope, you're good. Now shut this and add your next section on top. Nope, add one of these.
Oh. Do I go back in this hole with the tail sticking out?
Nope.
No. I
Just tie
cut
the
it?
knot.
No, I go on top. Let's make like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, that now, making sure that X, that little mark that you made, right, is on the table. Grab your next section and lay it on top. Okay, so you always want that X to be underneath.
Can I see or not?
Yep, just
Oh,
shoelace
you literally
knot.
just tie it.
Literally, yep. That's where it gets confusing because it changes the direction of your thread, so it looks like you should add your section on back here, but you don't want to do that.
I like this one.
Me too.
So you just
So you want to come actually out of, you want to come out that hole. Okay.
You probably shouldn't do this for an instructional video.
And then
I'm too naughty for this.
go back in that hole.
Oh, and then just tie it. the same
Nope,
way.
you're not gonna tie yet.
I mean, just throw it the same way.
Yes, yep, so go back in there, then come out.
Erin, can I see your model, please?
What?
May I see your model, please?
So when we go back through, we go
So the back is on
to
this.
the next
and then I
hole,
go-
and then
Then you're gonna link, but you
Here.
wanna make sure you only link this stitch. Not, don't go back down to section 1, just the link in section 2. And then when you get to the top, stop.
Came up here and across
Just so we don't
Yes, but you guys, when you get, hey guys, let me just do one thing and show you, because then you can go off on your own, but you need to remember
Who you are.
I know, right?
Okay, when you come out here and you're starting to build this up, and especially if you have thinner thread, you want to make sure that you're catching the stitch that's directly in front of you. So I'm only catching this stitch in section 2. So I don't care if you catch it at the top or the bottom, just make sure you don't go all the way down to section 1. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. If it doesn't make sense, then you guys need to come over here and look at what I'm doing.
Do we start the second panel the same way we did the other one?
Yes, but when you get to the top, stop, because I'm going to show you the knot stitch that we're going to do.
Okay.
So I'm coming out of section 3, you guys,
Yes.
and I'm only going to catch the stitch that's coming out of section 2. I do not want to go all the way down to section 1. So I'm just running my needle under the thread that's coming out of section 2. Okay? I'll do it again. What happens if you go back to section 1, oh, that looks terrible. That'll even out. Your book will start bending back on itself. Okay, so I'm coming out of section 3. And I'm only going to catch this stitch at section 2, right here. Haley, see that? I'm not going there, I'm going here. And then I'm going to pull it over a little bit so you can start to see the separation, and you'll really start to see the X's form. Okay? That one looks terrible. Yep. Oh, wait. Nope. So, wait, stop. You want it to be catching stitches as you are going up. So let's just back you out of section 2. Everybody take a deep breath, okay? So the next step, Tina, you back up and I'm going to show. When you guys are coming out of this hole right here at the top, or the head or the tail, okay, see that? See how I have this little stitch here?
Yeah.
I want to make a kettle stitch, so I'm going to make a corresponding knot. And you want to do this every time you stop a row. It's super easy. It's just a sewing knot. Take your needle, always head to the head or tail of your book. And I'm going to show you guys this a bunch of times. Don't worry about it. Run your needle through the sections, okay? Pull till you have a small loop. See that? And then go through the loop again. It's just a little sewing knot, okay? Then I'm going to go and add my next section and start again. And I'm going to catch just that stitch when I'm going down. Do you see that? Just the stitch in section 3. Okay, when I go down, screw this one way up. And then at the bottom, I'm going to do another kettle, which I'll show you guys again.
And you
Okay?
just repeat,
Yeah, you
keep
just
repeating
repeat,
that?
repeat, repeat.
Okay.